Hello and welcome to the Restricted Area Podcast, where we talk this week in NBA action. As a reminder, you can hear this podcast the day before it can be seen on YouTube by checking out Amazon, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. To get you started, I'm your host, Alex Perez, joined by producer Colton Smith and co-host Ben Miller. How we doing, fellas?
Doing a little tired if that's a saying. Just played some basketball today, getting adjusted to a new sleep schedule. So just kind of been working through all of that. I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna upload this video after we record it. I have it ready for tomorrow, and then go to bed. I'm
Yeah,
tuckered out. It's been a long
yeah,
day.
definitely.
Ben,
Yeah, I'm doing good. Just been watching my grandma today. Just been job hunting the last couple of weeks, and applied at FedEx. So more than likely going to start next week. So looking forward to getting started there and going back actually. But yeah, overall I'm doing good. Alex, what about you, man?
well, first off, congratulations on that. That's awesome.
Appreciate it.
But yeah, not really too much. Just preparing for the holidays and getting excited about that. Really, I like to eat, so this is the holiday for me.
I swear the gap between Halloween and Thanksgiving just gets shorter every year. Like
Yeah,
when Halloween came around, it felt like there was actually a month until you got to Thanksgiving. It felt like to me at least, and now it's just like
holiday
Halloween.
speed run.
Halloween
Yep.
was yesterday, and the next thing I know, it's going to be Christmas time
I believe that's
tomorrow.
Holidays.
called getting older. I don't know.
I don't want to talk about
Yeah.
it.
All right. Well, if you don't want to talk about that, let's get talking about this week in NBA action.
Yes,
Another
please.
exciting week. What stood out to y'all? Ben, I'll go to you first.
Yeah. So starting out with I want to talk about the Chicago Bulls a little bit, especially with their recent struggles. I mean, they started out the year 6-1. They were sitting second in the East, but they're currently sitting at 6-6 on a 5-game losing streak, guys. I mean, they had the most challenging schedule through 11 games. I mean, they played the Pistons twice. They had the Knicks, the Bucks, the Caps, the Spurs, and they've been struggling to close out these games. I mean, Nikola Josovic, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right.
Talking about Vucevic.
I feel like this guy,
Oh,
he is,
Vucevic. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He struggled a little bit. I mean, he's averaging 10.5 points per game and 6.7 rebounds while shooting 37% from the field. I mean, when the Bulls were winning, he was a key factor, and they're dealing with key injuries to the backcourt. I mean, Kobe White hasn't played so far this season due to a calf strain, and he's been the team's leading scorer the last two seasons, and he will be a potential offensive weapon to move them forward. I mean, Trey Jones recently suffered an ankle injury. Josh Giddey is dealing with an ankle injury, and I was like, the question is it time to be concerned? I would say no, because they just need to get healthy, and Kobe White will have a boost to the backcourt, and they got some easier games coming up with such as Washington, New Orleans, Charlotte, and Indiana. But yeah, it's just they're in a fluke right now, and they're just dealing with so many injuries. I mean, like I said, they were sitting second in the East, looking like one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference. And but yeah, they're just dealing with a lot of injuries right now. But as of right now, I'm not going to be concerned because they just got to get healthy. And then as soon as they get their star point guard back, Kobe White, he's going to be he's going to be beneficial in the backcourt. And but yeah, they just need to get healthy and try to get back on track to get to where they were at the beginning of this season.
Yeah, I completely agree. To be fair, Kobe White did play in this last game where they dropped their fifth straight against the Utah Jazz. He was great. The rest of the team was not. Billy Donovan said minutes restriction at the beginning of the game and then said, I don't care about any of that by the end of the game. They went into two overtimes and still could not find a way to beat the Jazz. That's very concerning.
Yeah,
Uh,
good
I
point.
might be a little panicked about this team right now. I was very high on them at the beginning of the season. It's looking rough right now. Colton, what do you think?
So this is actually my main storyline or whatever I was going to bring up. So I'll just bounce off of that, what I brought up for that. I do agree that is a very alarming loss. Even I didn't really have the full Cody White story because I just kind of thought he was under a minutes restriction. I missed that game. So Yeah, that's even knowing that he just got the reins taken off to lose in double overtime to the Jazz is pretty ugly. But I feel like things like that happen. It just happened to happen at the end of a 4-game losing streak and now a 5-game losing streak. So I think if this was just kind of a random loss to the Jazz, people wouldn't think too much of it. But it is alarming, but also comforting that with all these injuries that they are competing outside of I think it was the Cleveland or Milwaukee. I think Milwaukee beat them by like 16. Outside of that, they've kept them within 10 points. They've had points in the games where they were leading. So the main thing is their defense, and it has fallen off an absolute cliff. I don't even think it can continue to be this bad. That's how bad it's been. Their offense hasn't taken as much of a hit, but when you look at the first 7 games, they allowed 115 points per game, which isn't a great number by any stretch of the imagination. But when you're averaging 120 points per game, you can live with it. And then in this 5-game losing streak, their offense has stayed the same. However, their defense has allowed 129 points per game. I mean, the Jazz game definitely upped that a little bit in double
Yeah,
overtime,
for
but
sure.
Yeah.
still, you look, it's some pretty high numbers. So their offense is fine from at least a point standpoint. There is some stuff that's kind of looking a little wrong, but there's been injuries and stuff like that. So I'm not completely off that train, but um, Josh Giddey also has, like you said, you mentioned he missed a couple games. I think if he was on the floor, maybe they could have beaten the Spurs. Maybe they could have beaten. I think the Pistons was the other game he missed. Uh, neither here nor there, but he definitely would have helped. He is a positive influence on this team with what he does with the ball in his hands, whether it be passing or scoring. So all in all, I don't think it's over for the Bulls. I think we just need to readjust some of our expectations back to where they were to start the year. This is a play-in team. This is maybe a 6 seed if things fall their way, but they're a play-in team, first round team. Maybe they make it through the plan, but that's really about it. That's all they ever were going to be. And I think we just needed a reminder of that because of how well they looked to start the year. They'll get an easier stretch and figure it out. But
Mhm.
That's fair.
I'll go ahead and talk about my other storyline, which was the Atlanta Hawks, winners of 5 straight, 9-5, fourth in the Eastern Conference standings. They won against a pretty beat up Lakers team. I'm sure Alex can tell me about that. The
Mhm.
Clippers, Jazz, Suns, and Kings. So not necessarily a strong point in the schedule, but you know, the Clippers and Suns, I would say, are pretty legitimate teams, I guess. Uh, a lighter portion of the schedule, sure, but being successful in this league is winning games like that in a row. A lot of teams you'll see win 2 or 3 of those games and drop one out of nowhere. Being able to win those games, especially without Trae Young, I think is an impressive feat. And the big test will be Detroit tomorrow. I'll be tuning into that, figuring out a way. I won't have my computer tomorrow, so I got to get it on my phone somehow. But you guys don't care about that. What I want to give a huge shout out to, and probably I'll go ahead and give like a mid-episode baller of the week to Nickel Alexander Walker, who's a sneaky most improved player candidate, to be honest. The jump he's taken in his scoring, averaging 17.8 points per game, really only getting 5 minutes more per game, but it's how he's getting those buckets. It's not just because he's taking more threes. He's only taking about a 3 or 2 wait, eighth, 1 or 2 threes per game. That was a lot of numbers. He's getting a lot of buckets inside, getting to the bucket, utilizing that mid range. And the thing is, watching him at Virginia Tech, I remember him and Carson Edwards battling out for a game. That was a really great game. But I watched him at Virginia Tech throughout his season there, and I knew he was a skilled scorer, and you saw flashes of it throughout his career at New Orleans and Minnesota. So I just it took Trae Young, being out of the picture for him to really display that over these last couple of games. Um, and I think this is so far the best case scenario for this signing because I think he was really scoring well even without Trae Young, and it's been higher. And Trae Young hasn't played a single game in the month of November and won't be reevaluated until December 1st.
Mhm.
So I don't think we'll see him probably until about mid-December unless it's a really good reevaluation. But I gotta mention, I can't talk about this team without mentioning Jalen Johnson, who also could get in on those most improved player talks because even when Trae Young was here, he was averaging the most points on the team. I think it was only like 18. Now it's jumped up to 21 points per game. And he just had a game against the Jazz where he dropped 31, 18, and 14. And you can divide the Hawks and the Bulls here by looking at how they played against the Jazz, because the Hawks went up against a team that they should have beat, and they beat the crap out of them, whereas the Bulls went to double or triple overtime, whatever it was, and took a loss. So, yeah, I really I like this team going in. They didn't look too hot to start the year and have turned a corner here in the last week. So I have to give them a shout out, and we'll see how it all looks, especially in that Detroit game. That's going to be a huge game. Do they end the streak of the Pistons and become the longest winning streak in the East? Maybe. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, to answer your question, I talked about a little bit in the power rankings last week. Uh, the Hawks run started with the Lakers, and they beat the Lakers, who were still starting Luka Doncic. So, no excuse if you want to
Oh, okay.
call yourself a good team to lose to a team without Trae Young and Kristaps Porzingis. But I talked enough about that last week. Just want to say that the Hawks are still doing great. It's very impressive what they're doing. You pretty much hit everything on the head there, Colton. But to do this without your star player is just phenomenal work, and speaks to the players that you put around him, which is something that the Lakers could take note of. But anyways,
Yeah.
I digress. Ben, you got any extra thoughts on that?
Yeah, like we talked about, it's impressive that what the Hawks are doing right now. I mean, winning 5 games in a row, like you mentioned, Colton, fourth in the East, and especially without their star point guard Trae Young. I mean, that's definitely remarkable for sure. I mean, I feel like right now Atlanta, they're going to be a fun team to watch, and it's definitely going to be fun to see them go up against Detroit. I mean, they're arguably the hottest team in the East right now, and yeah, I feel like those guys, they're definitely going to put on a show, and but yeah, I feel like it's just absolutely remarkable that the amount of success that they're having right now, being fourth in the East on that 5-game winning streak without Trae Young. I mean, that they're making a statement right there. But yeah, that's remarkable. Yeah, Colton, what were you going to say?
One thing I wanted to point out was I do remember Tyrese Halliburton. I think it was last season, but maybe the season before. I feel like it was last season, though. He talked about one of the best things that happened to him in the middle of the season. I don't know if he put it like that, but I remember him saying he sat out a couple games and he was able to watch what this team did. And he'll have a lot of opportunity to do that this season. What this team did without him on the floor, and that helped him when he got back on the floor, and how like what they did well and what they didn't do well, to kind of help be a better leader in a point guard. So maybe this is a blessing in disguise for Trae Young. I don't want to try and say that, but I guess I did. But my point is, when Trae Young comes back, he might have a better idea of what he needs to do to get everybody their points and be more of an offensive facilitator. I mean, the guy averaged like 11 assists last year, so I don't think he'll have a problem with that. But something like that, taking him out can help the team figure out what they can do and how Trae Young can come back and maximize.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Well, one thing that I probably shouldn't even give attention to, but I'm going to because it's so bad. Bleacher Report came out with a list
Oh
of
God,
grades for
what happened to that
starting
company?
lineups, and I'm going to run through a few of these and see if you all have the same concerns that I do. The Boston Celtics got to be name any other starter besides Jalen Brown or Derek White.
And
Chicago Bulls got a D. The team that was second a few weeks ago, that's interesting. The Pistons got a D. The team in first in the East. Okay. The Warriors got an A minus.
the MVP
The
game.
team that starts Kaminga and Brandon Pajimski. Okay. The Suns got a B with Devin Booker and some other professional basketball players for
There's that
sure.
guy who played in the G League.
Yeah. And the Heat got an A minus. A team that
Andrew
starts
Wiggins.
Davion Mitchell and Pell Larson. I don't even know if I'm saying his name right because
He's
I don't know
he's
anything
starting.
about him. Yeah. Do you all share my concerns with this list?
What happened to that used to be the spot. I don't think I've opened a Bleacher Report article in like 2 years. The only time I hear about Bleacher Report anymore is when Kenny Beecham makes a video clowning them, his former employer.
Yeah, I mean those are some odd grades right there, like you listed off, Alex. I mean, especially the one with Detroit. That's the one that stood out to me because, like you said, they're they're the top team in the East right now, and the fact that they get a D, like what? Like that didn't make any sense. It
Doesn't
makes
make any
absolutely no
sense at
sense.
all.
Yeah, like
But
I don't get that. I don't get these grades. Like, what are we doing here? Makes absolutely no sense.
but yeah,
Bleacher
that is
Report should hire us so we bring it back to its former glory.
for sure. Yeah, that is all the attention they deserve. So moving on to my next storyline, uh, something that was also confusing, fellas. The All Star format was announced for this upcoming season, uh, and it's no less confusing than previous years. USA versus World, but there's two USA teams and only one World team. All right, 4 games, 12 minutes. The top two from the round robin of three teams, will meet in game four. 24 players uh, altogether, 12 from each conference. So are we doing East versus West? Are we doing World versus the USA? I'm very confused. Does this make sense to you all? Colton, I'll go to you first.
I think my expression says it all because I I love basketball. I love the NBA most of the time. Maybe not so. I mean, I love the NBA outside the Pacers this year, but the NBA outside of the Pacers have been really fun to watch this year. But the Pacers have made it hard to love the NBA this year. However, um, I just cannot bring myself to watch the All Star game no matter what. Like I tell myself, well, they're trying something. I'll give them a shot, and then I just find something better to do, whether it be sleep, whether it be watch anything else. I'll watch Hallmark with my mom maybe before I would watch an All Star game. I don't know. It's why overcomplicate things? It's something that happened in NASCAR, in recent times where they really overcomplicated our playoff system, and that's also just turned into something even worse. But we don't need to go into detail on that. But like, just keep it simple. Try to focus on making the All Star weekend fun instead of trying to make it. What are they trying to make it? I don't even know what they're trying to do. Like they're just trying to generate interest somehow, I guess.
They're just trying to embarrass their players into making them compete, and I don't get it. This is not the way to do that. But anyways, Ben, you got any thoughts?
I mean, nothing too much, but yeah, in a way, I just feel like um, for All Star Weekend, they're just maybe overdoing it. Um, yeah,
Maybe we finally get some like one-on-ones, maybe something like that, because what they're
That
doing for
would
the
get me
All-Star
hooked.
weekend, what they're doing for All-Star game, it's not working.
yeah,
Mac
Well,
McClung will save this one again.
that's Indiana
yeah.
Pacer Mac McClung. Uh, no, but what I was going to say is think about how the NBA has shifted. Play People aren't fans of teams anymore. Really, I mean, you have those, but they're more kind of just local. If you don't live in a city with a team, you're probably rooting for a player, and even if you're in a city with a team, you're probably still rooting for a player. I don't live in a city with a team. I root for the Pacers, but Damian Lillard, I would watch that. I would watch that man. I would do anything to watch that man win a championship. Regardless, my point is that makes it more sense to have a one-on-one tournament as opposed to a all-star game. I think it's just how we've evolved as fans, evolved as a culture and as a sport, that it's more focused on the players. I mean, when ESPN does their games, it's no longer the Celtics versus the Lakers. It's LeBron or Luca versus Jason Tatum. May Jason Tatum rest in peace. Jaylen Brown this year. Um, yeah, you get my point though, and I think that's kind of something that makes it more marketable. If you're going to watch LeBron at the age of 45, go try to win a one-on-one contest against Jason Tatum or whoever else is competing in that contest, and put in a wild card. Put in some random dude. Don't give him an all-star bid, but put in some random guy that's like Nikhil Alexander Walker. I would love to see him just ball out against those guys or something random like that. I don't know.
Exactly, the defense will
Just a
go
thought.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like let's see it. Let's see how it happens. You got to put like Jokic going against Shea.
They would
I don't
take
know
it
how
personally.
that.
That's the only thing that I see out of this, though. That's
I
the
could
main thing.
see, good
Yeah.
Lord, Shea would just do unspeakable things to Jokic when he has the ball. But
Yeah, that would be fun.
yeah, it would be fun though. It would be
Yeah.
so much fun, so much more fun, so much more talked about than what we're currently dealing with. They've killed the regular format or whatever this is called.
And the last thing I wanted to get your all's opinion on is the Clippers. Bradley Beal fractured his hip and is now out the season.
The retirement
So
home.
Kawhi is out for weeks at a time, as we all know, even though AD gets the street closed label. But anyways, an argument for another day. But I hate it, honestly, because the starting five actually made me like James Harden. So I feel bad for him now. Uh, Go watch that if you haven't already. But I don't know what's next for this organization or for the key players that are the biggest parts of this organization. So just wanted to get your all's thoughts on what could be next. Golden.
I need to watch that starting five, but I don't know if I can bring myself to do it. Put myself through that pain again.
Oh yeah, it's
especially with
I
where
meant
we're
to
at
text you
right
and ask you if you've seen it because it's they do it well,
now.
but it's devastating.
I want to watch it so bad, but do I really want to watch it?
I don't think you do.
I don't know. Maybe I just cut it off, but then I get to a certain point, I want to see how it ends, right? I don't
Yeah.
know. We'll see. I'm sure I'll get around to it at some point, but no, I mean, really, the only thing I think of when I think of the Clippers is just how well James Harden is playing. A lot of people aren't giving. It's 26 points a game. I just looked it up. He's averaging 26 points a game right now, and really, Zubac's the only other player on the floor with him consistently that's putting up numbers. John Collins is doing all right, I guess, off the bench, but that doesn't matter. My point is, I just want to make a point about James Harden and his longevity at the age of 36, still doing this, still looking, especially after a portion of his career where clearly injuries were holding him back, to be able to find this level of play at this stage in his career, I think is impressive and deserves to be talked about because I'll be honest, I thought James Harden was cooked. I didn't think he had another year or two like this in him. So I want to give huge credit, especially considering the skill it takes to do what he does. It's not necessarily like he's doing this. He's not as quick as he used to be, so he's had to find other ways to score using his abilities. So not that James Harden was ever really that quick, I guess, but he was quicker than he is now.
Mm-hmm.
But more explosive, I guess, is the word I'm looking for. But yeah, I gotta give my hats off to James Harden, who I think is on pace to be an all-star, and I don't know if his team's good enough for all NBA, but he's looking really good.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel for James Harden. I mean, he's having such a great year, and the fact that the Clippers are dealing with injuries to Kawhi and Bradley Beal. I mean, yeah, that's definitely unfortunate though. Especially with the way James Harden has been playing, just averaging 26 points. It's definitely unfortunate for sure.
And I can't even tank because those picks are no longer their friends anymore. So that stinks for them. Ben, did you have anything else? Sorry, I kind of cut you off earlier.
Oh no, no worries. Yeah, just real quick. I got the Toronto Raptors currently sitting at 8-5, and they're fifth in the East, showing early season growth early in the season. Excuse me. They picked up a big win over Cleveland last week. Their offense is clicking in the right direction. They are top 10. They are top 10 in offensive rating, field goal percentage, and field goal 3-point percentage. They have 5 players on the floor who are a threat to score, preventing opposing defenses from eyeing in on one player as they have more options to go to on the court. One difference from last year to this year is the addition of Brandon Ingram. I mean, he provides a significant boost in the offense with an elite scoring. He's an elite scoring threat, which creates space for an opportunity for his teammates. And Scotty Barnes continues to improve, especially at his with his playmaking abilities. Which elevates the whole offense. I mean, Emmanuel quickly is starting to catch his rhythm, but I feel like if the Raptors can continue this level of offense, I think they will continue to climb in the East, and they're definitely going to be a threat. And the difference between or from last year, I should say, to this year are the key players staying healthy. I mean, last year they were dealing with a bunch of injuries that really took them out of contention to show the world what kind of team they were. And now that everybody's healthy, I mean, this offense is definitely looking scary. And yeah, I can if they can continue the momentum, I can definitely see them continuing to be a threat in the East. But what do you guys think?
Yeah, shout out to them because I thought I was going to be labeled a non-ball knower because I said I was high on them going into the season. And they started pretty bad, but they are definitely picking it up now, looking like the great starting lineup that I thought they would be, despite what Bleacher Report has to say. Um, but yeah, shout out to them. They're a great set of pieces. Another very well built team there, and I think they will continue to play well, like you said, Ben, in a
Mhm.
very underwhelming East. We'll say that.
Yeah.
Underwhelming. Yeah.
Colton.
I'd say underwhelming, but I fully expected the East to look as such. But yeah, I mean, it, I had them circled as a storyline I would get to next week if they kept it up. Didn't get to them yet, but I mean those were our teams, right? The Hawks and the Raptors that we kind of both came to battle for, and so far it didn't look good to start, but they in the past week or so have kind of found their footing and are right in the spot I kind of expect them to be in the 4 and 5 spot. So the one point I want to make about Brandon Ingram that's kind of unrelated. It's so weird to me how he's played up. Like his talent has always been to the level of his number 2 overall pick, if you ask me. But he just never gets in those conversations. I guess it's the injuries, but just a thought that came to mind when I was actually looking at the team earlier. Like he's talented. He's very offensively gifted. Defensively, when he wants to, he can be a good defender. I don't know how often that happens, but on this Raptors team, it definitely has more so than not. So,
Mhm.
um, yeah, just a weird, random thought that came to mind as we were going through the Raptors there.
I think that might be a weird byproduct of bouncing around to so many teams that people
True.
start to label you a certain way when you do that, even though it's really a business decision from the top instead of from him. But
Hmm.
that's a whole other story. Ben, do you have anything else, or was that it?
That was pretty much it.
All right, just making sure.
Yep.
So we will go ahead and move on to the NBA Power Rankings for this week. After another fun week of NBA basketball, Colton, we'll let you go first.
All right, another week, just one Eastern Conference in my top five. I'm an Eastern Conference fan. Like, I mean, the West is just too fun to not watch. But like, I've always been like a Eastern Conference because I'm from the East, but I don't really care either way. Um, but I tried to see myself put in the Hawks, but they didn't have the wins. The teams they played didn't justify it for me. And then I tried to justify putting in the Raptors, but I think they need to win a couple more games. So I went with the Lakers at number 5. You can put the Hawks in there for sure, but I just think all in all, Luka Doncic is still doing his thing, and I think the Lakers are doing very well. And with just the fact that LeBron could be back soon, I think that gives you a couple points in the power rankings as well. So Houston, I need to watch them play ball because they are killing it on the stat sheet. I've been a box score watcher for them, so I need to catch a game. But they have been looking nasty. This offense is insane, and I just want to know how it works because I didn't expect them to be this good this fast. So got them on the list. They'll be on the top of the list to try and catch a game this week. And then you got Detroit, the 9-game winning streak from the Detroit Pistons. Not a streak I would ever have considered them to go on, especially if you look, 2 years ago? That's when they went on their big losing streak. Talk about a complete 180 from this team, this program. I even calling them Detroit. I should be calling them the Pistons, but the Pacers are so bad I just don't have the presence of mind to care. So Kate Cunningham, absolutely balling, absolutely hooping, and Ben called it out last week, and that take has looked uh, only better since
Yeah.
it happened. What was it, a 40-point game against the Wizards? A lot of shots taken, but hey, stats are stats. So
Yep.
Denver got them at the number 2. I feel like they have separated themselves as the second best team maybe even you could argue the best team, depending upon what night OKC is playing. But OKC, you are number one until you finally lose more than 2 or 3 games. Like you're just up there. They don't look like they've missed a beat, and they're missing players. They got J-Dub back, but yeah, I had no reason to not have OKC at the top. But Denver, OKC, that's going to be a fun series so long as we get it.
Yep.
Ben, who you
Absolutely.
got?
All right. So starting off at number 5, I got the Cleveland Cavaliers sitting at 9-2. I mean, they're winners of 6 of their last 8 games, and Donovan Mitchell is playing some of the best basketball in his career. I mean, Darius Garland has reignited the Big Four. I mean, with him, Mitchell, Allen, and Mobley, and I feel like with that squad on the floor, I mean, this team has overwhelmed its opponents and rank one of the best rating teams in the NBA. I mean, this offense now ranks among the best when Garland is healthy. So yeah, this Cleveland offense is definitely going to be fun. And also, you can never count out their defense too. But yeah, I definitely like the Cavs as of right now. And then coming in at number 4, I got the Pistons. Currently have the NBA's longest winning streak. I mean, they're top of the Eastern Conference Finals, or Eastern Conference, I should say. Excuse me. But I feel like the tandem of Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren has become an actual force. I mean, Cunningham continues to be a great playmaker, and Julian Duren has averaged 22.6 points per game during the winning streak and 13.6 rebounds. And their revamped defense is one of the best in the NBA. I mean, right now they are a postseason threat, and if Cunningham and Duren continue to do what they're doing right now, I mean, Detroit, they're going to continue to be a threat in the East and prove this is not a fluke. And coming in at number 3, I got the Rockets. They continue to be one of the league's most efficient offenses. I mean, this offense has definitely been fun to watch. I mean, they have strong presence on the glass. They dominate with size and rebounding, and they currently lead the NBA in 3-point percentage. And KD and Sengun continue to be great elements to this offense. And Houston, they've won 8 of their last 12 after starting the year 0-2, and they got 2 big matchups coming up this week as they travel to Cleveland to take on the Cavaliers, and they got a home game against the Denver Nuggets. So yeah, definitely going to be tuning into those games for sure. And then coming in at number 2, I do have the Denver Nuggets. They continue to be one of the best teams in the NBA. I mean, overall, this is a well-balanced basketball team on both ends of the court. Top 5 in both offense and defense. Nikola Jokic continues to be consistent, putting up MVP numbers. And during their 7-game winning streak, Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon are putting up strong performances. I mean, they're scoring consistently. And yeah, I feel like this offense is going to get better once Cam Thomas starts to find his rhythm a little bit. But yeah, I definitely like where the Denver Nuggets are at currently. And then topping off my power rankings, no surprise here, I got the OKC Thunder. I mean, they look like the most complete team in the NBA. The defense continued to look dominant against the Lakers. I mean, limiting Luka to just 19 points. And they also played the Warriors last week, where they limited Steph Curry to 11 points. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander continues to be consistent, putting together a lot of 30-point games. And yeah, I feel like overall they're going to continue to be a threat in the West. But yeah, that tops off my power rankings this week.
And
Yeah,
to
you
be
didn't have to bring
clear,
up that OKC Lakers game, but that's okay. Colton, what were you saying?
Cam Johnson is on the Nuggets. Cam Thomas is still on the Nets.
Oh, I got the last names wrong, didn't I?
It's okay. It's all right.
My fault.
Both are bucket getters.
That's
Name
right.
Cam.
First off, we do not make these lists together, even though it seems like it, because we usually have some of the same teams, if not all of them. But anyways, my number 5 is the Rockets, 3rd in the West right now, 10-3. Reed Shepard playing great, the most improved player in the league. Not saying that biasly. Anyways, first in points per game, first in rebounds per game, and first in 3-point percentage. I don't think an offense can get much better than that. So
Exactly.
Shout out to them for continuing to develop and kind of almost instantly having a chemistry. Golden, like you said, we didn't really expect. Sangoon is finding open looks for KD. Reed Shepard has stepped up, and Thompson has just been a menace on both sides of the basketball. So it's been really fun to watch that team. Number 4, feels good that I'm able to put them on here this week. The Lakers are my number 4 team. Beat the Bucks by 24 in a game where Bronny James started. Uh, Giannis did play in the game, so I just want to make that clear. Giannis did play in that game. 10 and
Probably locked
4.
him up.
Yeah, 10 and 4 overall. And like you said, Colton, this was actually one of my points. LeBron's practicing this week, so it may count further to the power rankings for next week, but it added a little bit to these power rankings this week because very excited for a team that has already looked so good that they're getting, I don't know, the best player of all time. Denver is my number 3, 10 and 2, second in the West, and haven't lost since November 7th. That's a pretty good streak.
Yep.
Or haven't lost in November, sorry. That's 7 games, is what I meant to say. Shout out to them, 7 games in a row. They are favored tonight against the Bulls by 15. Sorry, Chicago. Second in all ratings, net rating, defensive rating, and offensive rating. So they're doing it on all facets, kind of like we assumed they would. I think they're a little better on defense than I assumed they would, honestly, but shout out to them for really being great on both sides of the basketball. Detroit is second on my list, 11 and 2, first in the East. Haven't lost since October 27th. That's a pretty good streak too.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you could say OKC is the best defense. You're probably right, but I don't think Detroit's far off, and that's the big reason why they're here. And like you said, Ben, the connection with Cunningham and Duran has been great. They lead the league in paint points. They did last week. They do still do this week. It's impressive what they're doing down there on both sides. And then OKC, yeah, they're my number 1. 13 and 1, first in the West. I don't think they've lost since they were the Supersonics. Just a team that has no, like 10 out of 10, no notes. They're a great team, and I hate it so much. But yeah, they do, again, top my power rankings.
You know how much harder this dynasty would go if they were the Supersonics instead of the Thunder?
Exactly, yeah.
Like, I would probably hate them a lot less if they still were just rocking those Sonics jerseys.
Just relocate again. I'm sure it's not that hard. Come on,
Nobody
guys.
cares.
Bring back the Sonics.
Nobody will complain other than Oklahoma City, I guess. But, they got their championship. They can keep it.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But that will do it for our NBA power rankings, and we'll move on to our NBA Pick'em, where we pick our winners for the biggest games of the week. Funny enough, I picked a couple games you mentioned, Ben. So I hope you've been thinking about those. So the first one I have for you guys is Houston at Cleveland, 7 p.m. Wednesday on ESPN. Ben, who you got?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go with the Cavs in this one. I feel like the way I view this game is, of course, Houston's offense, red hot offense versus Cleveland's defense, and in a way, I definitely feel like the Cleveland defense, they're gonna limit Houston, especially in transition, and I feel like in a way that's going to be the difference in the game. So I think Cleveland's defense is going to get a number of stops, and I feel like in a way that'll be one of the differences, especially late in the game. So I got to go with the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Colton?
Cleveland's been a weird team to start the year for me. They dropped the game to Toronto, as you said, beat Miami, then lost to Miami. Actually, I have it backwards. They lost to Miami and then beat Miami and then lost to Toronto. They're a weird team. I can't really get a gauge on them. As I said, I have yet to tuned in to more than one. I watched that first Rockets game, and I liked what I saw. I think I'm just going to go with the team that's looked better to start the year and go with Houston here. If Cleveland pulls this out, I won't be the least bit shocked, but Cleveland's kind of a here team for me, and whereas Houston looks to be taken off. So no pun intended there. Give me the Rockets on this one.
Yeah, the Cavs' best players are their guards, and I think Houston has the facilities to at least limit those guards in a way that will make this game at least competitive. And then on the other side, I don't know if I trust anybody on Cleveland's defense to guard Mr. Kevin Durant. So it might be his night to shine. So that's why I'm picking Houston in this one, honestly.
Yeah, and like Houston's a good defensive team. They were a good defensive team before the last season, even. Since Ime
Mhm.
Udoka's come in there, they have built a great defensive identity. So I don't have any problem in thinking they'll let D Mitch drop like 30, but who else is going to do that? I mean, nobody.
And my second game is 9:30 p.m. Friday on Prime. It's an NBA Cup game, and let me go ahead and apologize for picking the same team twice for these games. But I got Houston at Denver for this one as well. I'll try not to put the Rockets in a game next week so we can get different teams. But for
It's
now, it's
okay.
Houston at
They're hot.
Denver. Colton, who you got?
Ah, that's a tough one because those are two teams that look like this to me, both going the same way,
Mhm.
parallel. Surely they'll never meet, but they meet on Prime Friday night. Definitely watching that game. Let me go with the Nuggets. I think while the Rockets are blistering offensively and blistering defensively, I think the Nuggets are just as good, but they have the best player in the world. Perhaps, perhaps not. Depends upon who you ask. It's just an opinion, everybody. I don't have a best player in the world right now. I think there's like three of them. So uh, one of them is Nikola Jokic, and I think that's going to be the difference in this game. I think his size against Sengun, who's a solid defender, but uh, so let's go ahead and give the Nuggets that win.
All right, all right. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely going to be a great game. I mean, these are two well-balanced teams on both ends of the court, offensively and defensively. But yeah, I feel like I was going back and forth the last couple of minutes, but I think I'm going to go with the Denver Nuggets. I mean, I feel like Jokic is going to be the difference maker, like you mentioned, Colton. And but yeah, I feel like it's definitely going to be an exciting ball game for sure. But yeah, I feel like Jokic is going to be the difference maker, and I think the Denver Nuggets will get the dub over the Rockets.
Yeah, I mean, just to talk about some of these matchups, you got KD versus Joker, Sangoon versus Gordon. I mean, great guard play, as we all know, but those four are pretty much the guys we're going to be looking at in this game. It's going to be fun to watch, but Houston will also be coming off that Cleveland game. So I think that is a big reason that you shouldn't expect much effort from them in this one. Maybe some people sitting out with some load management reasons, or some may sit out the Cleveland game. Who knows? But, anyways, I'm going to assume that they uh, don't have as much energy in the second game of the week, especially in this big one. So give me Denver in this one. I'll probably still pick them even if that wasn't the case, but I don't think that helps any for sure. And then we will go ahead and move on to our shooting star where we pick our baller of the week. Colton, who you got?
I got my boy CJ McCollum.
Mm.
42 piece on the Pistons? Okay. We talked about them being maybe the second best defense in the NBA right now. And he just dropped 42 like it was 2020, 2019, his prime. Shout out my boy CJ. He backed it up with like a 10-point performance, I think, the next game. But uh, hey, the random CJ 42 bombs are flying. He had a 25 and 25, so like he's doing his thing. Was it him or was it somebody else who said this is a playoff team this year? I'm not sure that is quite happening. That might have been Chris Middleton that was spewing that.
Think so.
Yep.
Not sure they're quite on that trajectory, but they're honestly a fun team to watch. If you never know, CJ McCollum might drop 40, and then you got some fun young players. If you're ever bored and want to see a Wizards game, it's not the worst in the world. It could be a Pacers game.
Yep.
They're just getting shots out there in Washington. Ben, who you got?
Yeah. So I got Laurie Markkanen. I don't know if I'm saying that name right.
Marketing.
Markin. Yeah. Thank you. So yeah, he scored 46 points against the Bulls. winning 150 to 147 in double overtime. He put on an absolute dominating performance. I mean, he was 15 for 33 on the floor. He was big time at the free throw line, going 11 for 13. I mean, he's definitely having a career year. I mean, he's been one of the best scorers in the NBA this season. I mean, he's averaging 30.6 points per game. But he's my shooting star of the week. I mean, overall, what a great performance and a great season so far that he's having.
Great picks. Mine for this week is Steph Curry, somebody I think who had the best week in the NBA. He's the only player besides MJ to score 40, well, that are 37 and older, to score 45 plus in back-to-back games. That's pretty good company to have. He also tied MJ for the most 40-point games after turning 30. He's had 44 since turning 30. Also a decent number. He did those back-to-back 45-point games against the Spurs as well, with everybody intact, everybody healthy. Well, besides Harper, but still a very good team that I feel like some should be surprised he's putting up 45 plus on. I think maybe he just hates Wemby, and that's back to the Olympics. But I wish they were going to get to play more years together, or against each other, I should say. But anyways, the one other thing I wanted to mention about Steph Curry is a shoe free agent now. So shout out to him because he's about to get paid by somebody, even if it's the Steph
Nike.
Curry brand. But yeah, it's probably going to be Nike. He already
Yeah.
sported the Nike the first game out
Couple
of
seconds.
out of shoe prison, I guess you want to call it, because something
Yeah.
was going wrong there. Maybe Nike won't spell his name wrong this time.
For
Um,
real.
But anyways, if you all don't have anything else, that will do it for this edition of the Restricted Area Podcast. Thanks to Colton and Ben for being on. And you all can follow the show's YouTube at CX Restricted Area. And you can follow the CX crew on all socials at CX Pod Network. Follow me on Twitter at The Will Deal. Colton at Colt_45. That's 3 T's, by the way. And Ben, tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter. It's Ben Miller, PXP.
So thanks to everyone for watching and listening. And until next week, you all be smooth.